Hey guys, welcome back. Glad you're tuning in. Thanks for being here. This video's topic is going to be over hatred, the new religion, right? You see, it wasn't so long ago that we used to live on certain morals and values like love thy neighbor as thyself and the golden rule. Treat others, as you would want to be treated. Now these days, it's hate thy neighbor, right? And oftentimes it's because you hate thyself. People actively look for things to hate in someone, right? Because they have that much of a heavy heart for certain people groups that they feel as though that's zealous in their beliefs. You see, our history has shown us time and time again that we always divided ourselves into certain social classes, right? The elites are up at the top, the middle class is always going to be in the middle, and you're going to have your poor, your poverty. And history has shown us that slaves are thrown into that too, right? They're seen as the same. Now these days, here in the West, in America specifically, the middle class is gone. To be able to compensate for the inflation, right? The inflation spike, the cost of living spike. You'd have to make anywhere from $120,000 to $140,000 to lead a decent life. And that's not the average person. The average person is making $40,000, $50,000. Then it's no wonder, why people are living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, in California, gas prices were up to $7 a gallon. That's insane. Here in Virginia, they went up to $4 a gallon, right? And if you have an 8-cylinder like I do, right, a big truck, it's going to be really expensive, right? I'm spending anywhere from $90 to $110 every week in gas. Now, it has come down some, which is awesome, but, it's still astronomically high. I digress. You see all these expensive things, and expensive things that people need but can't afford. It's no wonder they get angry, When people are angry long enough, they start looking for people to blame for their situations, right? And we've seen, it for sure, in the past decade, that people have been really hating each other over who they voted for. I mean, there's a disdain that people have for each other on simply just on how they cast their ballot, right? If you voted blue, people hate you because you're an enemy to the country. If you vote red, people hate you because apparently you hate minorities, you hate women, you hate well, whatever, which hasn't really proven to be true. But, I'm not going to get into politics. we've we've been hating each other for quite a while now, and we see the repercussions of that. I mean, cities are burning. People are actively being tortured and shot. There was a group of young adults who tortured and killed a special needs kid just because he was white. I mean, can you believe that? And then when COVID, right, really took America by storm, a lot of people were really, well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but there were a few incidences where people would actively target, Asian people, Asian Americans, right? It's tribalism. And America is experiencing one of the worst ones. Now, obviously, you're going to have way worse, right? The UK right now is in shambles, right? And history always repeats itself. So if you want to see what happens, look at the UK, right? When you inject a lot of people who don't agree with your values, your morals, and just the way that you conduct life in your country, are you really surprised? Are you really surprised when things start to fall apart? You shouldn't be. You really shouldn't. So, conflict of interest, man. That's what it boils down to. Conflict of interest. And people hate each other off of that. Yeah, we see this all throughout time. All throughout time. People have fought wars over just about everything. Just about everything. Right? But this is what no one is talking about. Instead of blaming, right, people who don't make the rules, but I mean, you do vote, right? The thing is that the elites are the ones that are making the rules, right? And oftentimes they're working hand in hand with certain kinds of people. And we're seeing now that that's making our lives suck. So whether you are, so it doesn't really matter who you vote for. All of us are suffering. And that's the thing that people really miss because they're blinded by the hatred. Because they've been told to hate, right? And it's both sides. Well, I would say more or less the conservative. Well, actually less of the conservative, definitely more of the left. That's hating. But there's still hatred, right? There's still hatred on both sides. We're not unified. And this is going to lead to a lot of different things, right? Last time it led to a civil war. When we have this much civil unrest, it's already led to quite a few conflicts, as I was talking about earlier. History always repeats itself, man. And that's what we're going to see here pretty soon. I mean, things are already getting at that boiling point, you know. People have really gotten tired of each other, right? Really at each other's throats. So, and it's really hard to find a solution because this is such a complex problem. You know, the issues that we're suffering through now were pretty much designed. So, that being the case, what we can do is we can start pointing the fingers at the right people. You know, since the elites are the ones that make the rules, we look at them, right? We hold them accountable because it's been far too long that the elites haven't been held accountable. I mean, it's a shame that some of them can commit crimes and still have their jobs, and in some cases, not even go to jail. That some of them, their kids can do drugs, commit felonies, and not even suffer the consequences of that. It's so, why are we pointing the fingers at each other? Why? You know? So, but guys, that's why we're so zealous with hatred today, and it's become the new religion. It's because our situation sucks so much that we can barely live, if we're living at all. So do me a favor, guys, and share this message for me, please. You know, more people need to hear this, especially men, because men are the target of a lot of crap now. You know, white men specifically. It's just, it's insane. You know, a lot of people who had nothing to do with the past, I should say the wrongs of the past, you know, are suffering now because, you know, a lot of people believe what they believe, and they look at their situation and they're looking to blame people pretty much on the same social class, right? Who the only thing that they can really do is voice their opinions. Well, I mean, and vote too, but voting only goes so far. So, got to look up, right? Got to look up and start asking questions, right? Hardly anybody asks questions these days. So, got to look up and got to hold the elites accountable for what they're doing. Right? Regardless of who they are. You know, we got to unite. We all got to come together, right? Because we're all in this together. So, anyways, guys, take care of yourselves. Work on this, okay? Stop hating people, right? Look inward, guys. Look inward and fix what's going on with you in here. I'm telling you, you're going to live a better life that way. Sure, your situation may suck now, but who knows what's going to happen in the future? Is it really going to suck in the future? You know, are you really going to change your situation, or are you just going to sit and complain about it? You know? So, guys, take care. Take care of yourselves. And do your best to take care of each other. You know, when you see a homeless guy, you know, or a homeless woman, a homeless person, right? Why not just stop and give them a couple bucks? Now, obviously, there are grifters out there, right? So make sure you use your critical thinking skills, right? If they have clean clothes, if they look groomed, you know. So use your judgment, right? Obviously, people will appear homeless, right? They'll dirty themselves up and whatnot, but that's not the point. The point is, you know, have a heart. You know, you see people struggling, why not help them out? You know, someone needs a couple bucks that you know of, you know, toss them a couple bucks. I've had to do that I don't know how many times. You know, so help each other out, because that's how we mend this hatred that we have for each other. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Hopefully this information really helped you guys out. If it did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also share this, please. There are more people that need to see this, right? Also leave a comment, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys are saying. I read the comments. I try to respond to them as much as possible. So, you know, I want to cultivate this community here. My main focus is men, yeah, but every now and then I will do something that doesn't just affect men, right? It affects everybody. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you would like me to talk about something, please let me know. You're more than welcome to, you know, message me in the comments. I really appreciate you guys. Again, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon.